Hello, and welcome back to Hitman 3 and the end of an era mission set in Chongqing, China. And today we will be taking care of the medium rare challenge, which entails getting an employee to eliminate Imogen. We will also get the redacted a hair in my soup challenge, discovery or feat, for basically poisoning somebody. We will get the climbing the corporate ladder discovery or feat for disguising ourselves as Mr. Pritchard, the board member. We will also get the mission story certainty principle for just basically going on a tour of the facility. We will finish up with down the rabbit hole for escaping Chongqing via the sewers. So for today's challenge, we will be starting at the riverside walkway as usual, and I will be bringing with me my ever trusty lockpick, some lethal poison and a silenced pistol. So right from the start, off the bat, you will notice this is a rather long video, and most of the reason for that will be the tour that we're going to take near the end of the video, and it takes quite a long time. But before that, we need to take care of Hush, so we're going to follow the walkway all the way to the center of town, up the stairs across the square here and around to the block building. And we're going to make our way around and into the block building via the window here, and we're going to go down into the basement. And while we're down here, we're going to collect up a crowbar that's just at the bottom of the stairs, and in the corner of the room in this old fridge we will find a fuse. And if the guards are having their backs to us at this point, we can make our way straight out into the courtyard and up the shortcut ladder to the first floor, bypassing the interview room and having to wait around. So we're going to turn left, we're going to make our way along the balcony, off the edge, if we can manage it, and up the drain pipe to the second floor. And we're basically going to make our way up to the top floor where Hush is, and we're going to poison his deprivation chamber. So once we're on the second floor, just be aware of where the patrolling guard is off to our left. If he's got his back to us, we can lockpick our way through the door on our right, hide behind the boxes here just on our right, and we're waiting for the guard there who's taking a drink to move away from that area. He has his back to us, but I know he's going to move before we get there, so we're just going to wait him out. And once he's moved away, we can then make our way through this room, through the security room, up the stairs. We're going to stop at the top of this first flight, and we're going to take out the surveillance system, which is just about there somewhere. There we go. So we're going to continue on up the stairs now until we come to a keypad locked door, and we're going to put in the code 2552, which, if you want to find out how that code is available, it's on a whiteboard up in the next area here where Hush has his mentality machine or whatever it is. But once we're on the top floor, we're going to make our way straight through the room and out onto the balcony as quickly as we can, where we will encounter another keypad door with the same 2552 code. With that taken care of, we're just going to check on the doctor in here, and he has just moved into the perfect position. So we're going to enter into the room, render him unconscious, being aware of where Hush is. Luckily for me, he's actually downstairs at the moment, so we've got plenty of time. But he may be up on this floor, and he may enter into this room. So if you know his routine well enough, you know when you've got enough time to take out the doctor and the guard in this room. Just for an easy escape, we're going to take the guard's outfit as well once we have him stashed up in the cupboard. So the room is now ours. We're going to take the guard's outfit, we're going to place the fuse into the machine, and that will take care of the Hush kill. All that's left for us to do now is poison the ventilation system so that when Hush enters into the machine, that will activate and kill him. And we can now make our way down the stairs back out of the building the same way we came in, just retracing our steps. This is the best way to avoid any enforcers. And we're going to go out the gate in the courtyard once we get down to the ground floor, and we can now move on with our medium rare challenge. So left from the gate, we're going to make our way back into the town square here and into the restaurant, where we're going to listen to this conversation here.
Pleased to meet you. I'll be your guide on the facility tour.
Spare me the pleasantries. I've had an awful flight. 9 hours delayed, luggage lost somewhere along the way, and the airline is trying to avoid their responsibility. I'm hungry and I'm tired, and I want to straighten everything out before I'm doing your tour.
Yes, so sorry about your flight. Just let me know when you're ready. Oh, did you bring the P-41 we left for you in the apartment?
No, I wasn't informed that I should.
Oh, very sorry, Mr. Pritchard. We need you to bring the P-41 to get the tour. It's procedure. Please pick it up before you come and find me. I'll be waiting by the stairs in the back of the restaurant kitchen.
So once that conversation has played out, I am going to make this opportunity count, and I'm going to go into the bathroom and collect the rat poison. You don't need to do that just yet, we are going back into that bathroom, but once we have the rat poison, we're going to exit back out into the square and across the square and into the apartment building, and we're going to go up to Mr. Pritchard's apartment, which is up on the first floor somewhere here. Once again, we encounter a keypad door. The keypad code for this one will be 0118, which you can find out from a young lady just outside the facility, or if you can bust your way into this room, the answer phone just to my left there will tell you the code. Just by the foot of the bed we find the form that is needed. We're going to drop the gun we've collected as well, because we are going to go through a frisk zone at some point, so we don't want any illegal items on us. So once we have the documents that we require, we can make our way back out of the apartment and back into the restaurant and back into the bathroom. If you haven't got the poison already, now's your chance. We're going to go out of the window in the bathroom and scoot along to the kitchen window, and we're just going to wait here because our timing stinks, or my timing stinks should I say, and we're just going to wait for the chef. You can see, or not see just at this moment, there he is on instinct. He's going to go through his routine. He has a number of little stops around the kitchen, but he's now where we want him. So once he's finished chopping vegetables, he will move away, and as he does, we can then enter through the window, follow him around the counter, where we will encounter an empty bowl. We are going to prepare a meal. We will then poison that meal with our rat poison that we've collected, and we will then ring the serving bell, which is just here, and make our way quickly back out of the window. And basically the chef who we were waiting on will come along. He will take that to Mr. Pritchard, who is sitting in the restaurant, who will get sick and come into the bathroom. In the meantime, while this is happening, we should be experiencing Hush's death any second. And there he goes.
You got the bastard, Hush. Now go get Imogen Royce and we can get to the core.
So one target down, one to go. So Mr. Pritchard is now sampling the food and getting sick. That will get us a hair in my soup redacted challenge, and he will come along to the bathroom to be sick, and when he does, we can then enter in via the window, render him unconscious and take his outfit. So we're just going to give him a moment to get in position and the door to close. Jump in through the window, render our victim here unconscious. There is a handy crate in the corner of the room, so we will plop him into that before we take his fancy little suit there. So all that's left for us to do now is really begin the tour, which means going through the restaurant kitchen and speaking to the young lady whose conversation we eavesdropped on. Now at this point this is going to get very long, very dialogue heavy. So we're just going to follow this young lady. We do still need to drop our silenced pistol. So once the tour begins, this is very drawn out. So we're going to go all the way around the top layers of the facility, listening to this woman prattle on. And once we exit the restaurant, we're just going to drop our gun there, and we'll collect that on our way out. So from this point on, as I said, all we've got to do now is follow the tour. This takes absolutely ages, and this woman doesn't stop talking for a second as far as I'm aware. We will have to go through a frisk zone first of all, and we will have to opaque a window on our journey, but you will see them both coming up. So the young lady is now just basically selling the ICA building to us, saying how it can be dismantled and removed in 12 hours. It's like, yeah, but you've already been infiltrated. I don't think 12 hours is quick enough. So once we get down to this area, we can now, when this young lady finally quits, we can go through our first frisk zone, which is just off to our right. Yes, no exceptions, we know. Through the frisk zone we go.
Hey, bro. If you want to come through this way, I'm gonna have to do a quick pat down.
Okay, coming in.
My mother always said I had good hands. Said I should have been a surgeon.
Oh, careful.
And you are good to go, sir. Thank you.
I think you got a bit too close. So once we're through the frisk, you can see over in reception here, the form we have handed over is part of a ID sort of thing. It's something to do with the AI that runs this facility. And the reason we have our phone in our hand is because we're going to have to black out a window, as I said, and hack a laptop to avoid getting our cover blown. So the tour will now continue. So once we go through the doors ahead of us and through the doors ahead of them, we will black out a window and continue the tour. So at this point we want to scan the window in the far corner of the room there, and the laptop just in front of that window is the one we will be hacking.
On this room until your security clearance is finalized. So why don't you have a little look around while we wait, Mr. Richard? It should be here shortly.
Shit. We need to intercept that 47, or the facility AI will blow your cover. Get me into one of those computers and do it fast. You've got 60 seconds before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, well, Olivia, I only need 10. Actually, I only need 7. There we go. So once that's done, that will clear us through the security check.
That was a close one.
So now we've just got to once again pick up the tour where we left off, and we are on the final leg here with this young lady. She is going to now take us to meet our target, Imogen. So at this point things are going to get a little complicated. We're going to opaque that window just there to this office. At this point Imogen is going to give us our test basically. So she's going to now introduce our 3 victims here. We have to choose who to fire. And we are actually going to fire all 3 people. Starting with Jeremy Bolt.
But in private, he's a real mummy's boy. If fired, he will immediately call his mother and, at her advice, seek out who he considers his best friend for support. My personal guard at West End.
Really? Well, explains why he's always next to me at lunch.
At the top right, you see Alicia Reynolds, bright and very passionate about her.
So we will also be firing this young lady.
Obsessive about her contribution.
She's going to turn off the safety systems for us.
Disable the work she has done for the ICA. If she's not allowed to enjoy her results, no one is. Specifically, that means she will try to enter the core room and disable the safety mechanism. I'll leave you to consider your choice of who you want me to use for demonstration. Just let the guard outside the door know when you're ready, and I'll be right back.
I will have a closer look. Maybe your project could play a part in the future of the ICA.
Just let the guard outside the door know when you're ready, and I'll be right back. Oh, and if you decide to leave the room, a guard will escort you around. Safety protocol. Thought I'd just mention it.
Right, so at this point we get our mission story pop for us. We're just going to wait for Imogen and her guard to leave, and as soon as they do, immediately fire Mr. Holt. And as soon as we're able, we're also going to fire Miss Reynolds as well.
41 is now effective for your employment status. Thank you for your service.
What? That can't be right.
Code 41 is confirmed effective for your employment status.
So we're going to fire Miss Reynolds. So that has now distracted the guard.
To inform you that Code 41 is now effective for your employment status. Thank
That
you
guard
for your
will
service.
now go and distract Imogen's personal bodyguard as well. Miss Reynolds is going to make her way into the data core at the bottom right there and turn off the safety system. So all that's left for us to do now is wait. And if we keep an eye on the bottom 2 monitors, you can see that the guard is distracted. You can see Imogen arriving on the bottom right with her bodyguard. On the bottom left you can see Miss Reynolds now going into the core to turn off the safety systems. The guard has now left and Imogen's guard will now go and meet him. So all that we have to do now is keep an eye on the young lady disabling the security system or the safety system in the bottom right corner, as she is already on her way out. So when she starts approaching the door, we are going to fire Miss Reed.
I regret to inform you that Code 41 is now effective for your employment status. Thank you for your service.
And she's going to flash burn the data core while Imogen is still the only person inside. Although we do this a little bit later than I would like, and if you look at the bottom right, Imogen almost made it out of the room, but not quite.
Good. That's both targets down. I just need to override this, and I'm in. You can get out now and I can take care of the data remotely. Unless you want to handle it yourself.
So we can't just now break and run for the exit. We have to be escorted out of the building by this gentleman here. And although this guy actually keeps quiet, he doesn't actually move any faster than anyone else. So we are stuck just following him right back up to the entrance. Luckily he stops at the edge of the facility and we can continue on through the shipping containers on our own and at our own speed. But for now we are content with just snail crawling along, following this guy, and he's going to stop right here and we can then make our way out of the facility. So we have our medium rare challenge taken care of. We're going to retrieve our gun. Because we have a crowbar just in the corner here, we have a manhole cover and we can exit via down the rabbit hole. So there you go, the medium rare challenge taken care of. That has been rather long. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.